Alright everybody, today we're checking out one of the greatest motion pictures ever made. Nah, just fucking with you. Alright everybody, 1976's Dogs. But before we go any further, as always, to the trailer.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon. Will you be ready?
You asked me to notify you if any more of the cattle were killed. Larry Ludicky just called, and he's had it with these killings.
Well, it's not coyotes.
Wolves, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Starting last month, some cattle were killed. They belong to Larry Ludicky. Now he's been killed.
And you know who did it?
No. And it's not a who, it's a what. I think something is causing domestic dogs to pack and attack people.
Don't mind as the president of this college, you have the responsibility of the lives of everyone here. 2 people have been killed already. One of them a student.
By what?
It's terrible, yes, but you have no evidence it was done by dogs.
The hell is that?
What's that noise?
Let's get out of here.
It happened once. It could happen again. It could happen where you live. Will you be ready for Dogs?
Okay, this motion picture was directed by Burt Brinkerhoff. Hey, why not? His whole career basically really was television. I don't know how the hell he wound up directing this thing, but basically his whole career was TV. He did a bunch of stuff. He did stuff like Beverly Hills 90210, Universal Hospital, Sequest 2032, Growing Pains, Matlock, Murphy's Law, Alf, Magnum PI. I mean, that's what his whole career was, basically television. Except for this wonderful gem that he gave us from 1976, Dogs. Alright everybody, playing Harlan was David McCallum. Now before we go into anything that he always did, or what is he was in, like, you know, he was in The Great Escape and some other stuff, he's always going to be from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He's always going to be Elia from, if I pronounce that right, it always screws me up, from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That show was legendary. It was just one of those classic royal TV shows that we're always going to remember and look back at fondly with love. And that's where his career is always going to go right back to. But his career has actually been incredibly long. He's been in tons and tons of stuff. He's been in things like Hell Drivers, Violent Playground, Jungle Fighters, Feud. And he was also in an incredible amount of television shows, whether it was Perry Mason or Please Don't Eat the Daisies or whatever. But his career is probably more even TV than motion pictures. But David McCallum plays Harlan in this. Whatever. Okay, playing Miss Engel was Linda Gray. Now, Linda Gray, obviously, everybody knows from Dallas. I mean, that was her big hit. That was the thing that she's most remembered for. But she was in other movies. She was in things like, she was in Oscar with Sylvester Stallone. She was in Star of Jupiter. She was in Wally's Will. She was in A Very Merry Christmas. And she also did like a lot of TV shows also. She was in 90210. She was in Touched by an Angel, Melrose Place. Bonanza the Return, which is kind of like a weird forgotten thing, but she popped up a lot on TV. She did some movies, and she's in this. Is she like the main role in this? No, but it's Linda Gray, and she's one of the bigger stars in it, so might as well talk about her. Okay, playing Caroline was Sandra McCabe. She was around, man. Beyond being in Dogs, she was in The Rose. She was on the TV show Soap. She did friggin' Honky Tonk Freeway. She popped up on several other TV shows throughout the time. She was on a bunch of stuff. Like, her career wasn't big, it wasn't long, but she did Hill Street Blues. She was on Hill Street Blues is another thing that she was on. So she had a career, came, went, nothing major, but is what it was. Anyway, on to the next one, and my favorite, by the way. Okay, everybody, here's my personal favorite. Playing Michael was George Winter. Now, George Winter was in a ton of motion pictures and TV shows. He was in Spaceballs. He popped up in The Bad News Bears. He was in Trouble with the Curve, A Serious Man, Shattered, The Mesmerist, The Postman. He was on TV shows like Perfect Stranger and Doogie Howser, and I mean, dude was in so much stuff. As soon as you see his face, you say, son of a bitch, I know that guy. He's been in 4 million comedies, and he's the shit. So, to me, he's my personal favorite in this motion picture, and I was just glad to see him in it. That's all. I know. Whatever. Okay, let's just get to the story. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on the story to this because I think the summation is going to be a lot more important than the story. The story is very simple, and you probably got most of the idea from the trailer. Small rural town. Everything seems picture perfect. Everybody's normal, except that the local dogs, the domesticated dogs, gang up at night and go out and kill hordes of people. That's basically the whole story. That's the whole story. In the background, there's a subplot about pheromones, and is the dogs being controlled by a universal mind, and there's a subplot about there's this new testing facility running secret programs and all this other shit going on at the same time. But I'm going to tell you why those things almost have nothing to do with anything else, and why we just need to get to the summation to blast through this thing. Okay, I'm going to get to this really fast. What makes this movie work and what makes this movie not work? The movie works because it's so damn hokey and so goddamn stupid, you enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. It's ridiculous. The whole premise is dumb. It's over the top. There's parts of it where you're going to be like, are they seriously trying to get me to believe this? And yes, they are trying to get you to believe this. This movie takes itself utterly seriously, and that's probably one of the biggest faults with it. It takes itself almost too seriously, or maybe that's what makes it so great, because they fail so miserably at it. That's why the movie's enjoyable. But they really take themselves super, super seriously. This is not a comedy, it's not dark humor, except for one scene at the end with a kitty cat, but the rest of it, they're trying to play this thing straight, and that's why it comes across so goofy. The subplots about there being a secret corporation doing experiments and all this other kind of stuff gets hinted at and talked about, but you never find out if that has anything to do with why the dogs are freaking out. And you're like, did I miss something? And all the other stuff about the pheromones and other dogs being controlled by a universal mind, this, that, and the other, you never really get an answer to. It's just plot points talked along during the motion picture that never get resolved. So you don't really ever find out why the dogs are doing this. You don't really understand who's controlling them or what's controlling them. All you see is a movie where the dogs are going crazy and they start killing people. That's it. And what makes this movie utterly ridiculous yet completely enjoyable is the fact that you see these like a German Shepherd, a Doberman, a Golden Retriever, and then a bunch of lap dogs, for all intents and purposes, running around killing people. And when I say lap dogs, I mean some of these little shits are lap dogs. They're little dogs. There's one, my favorite scene. I can't see how it would ruin the movie for you because the movie's so goddamn ridiculous. How can you ruin it? But there's a great scene in this movie where there's like 120 goddamn college kids, and they're all held up in the university. And outside of the university, there's literally maybe 9 dogs, at best, standing guard. And they're all freaking out. And all of a sudden, those 9 dogs break in. And they're just chasing all these college kids around. I mean, there's like 12 kids for every dog. I mean, they could have beat the shit out of these dogs, let's be honest. And they're running for their life. And then Michael, George Winter, he catches up later and he goes to the school, and all you see is dead bodies everywhere. Like a German Shepherd, a boxer, a Doberman, and a couple of foofy lap dogs just killed 120 students and left dead bodies anyway. But they didn't play it for a joke. They played the shit seriously. And that's what makes it awesome. Because they were trying to really make a serious horror flick. And the shit that they were doing in it was fucking ridiculous. Is this movie directed great? No. But it's directed all right. Is the acting good? No. And I hate to say it, David McCallum's character comes across like a twat the whole movie. I mean, you just look at him like, this little asshole. You know what I mean? There's almost like not that many likable characters in the movie, but, you know, you just kind of roll with them anyway because I guess you're supposed to. It is what it is, folks. I know this isn't the most in-depth review of a motion picture because I didn't really get into the story or nothing like that. But the summation is what makes this movie. The summation that you're going to go into this, it's fucking ridiculous. They're playing it straight. It is what it is. And you're going to walk out of it at one point just laughing at the absurdity. But saying, Dad, you know what? Hour and a half killed. I enjoyed that shit. Why not? You know, who cares? So, anyway, that's my summation review, whatever the hell you want to call it. Dogs from 1976. Fun? Yeah. Good? Enjoyable? Sure. Give it a watch. See what happens. See what you think. You might hate it. You might love it. You laughed, you cried, you kissed $3 goodbye. Who gives a shit? All right, people. Catch you later. Bye.